Hey everybody, it's Larry here again from Leroy Systems. Today's topic of conversation is recovery, exercise recovery. Now, we all know it's really important. We all know that we have to do it, and we all know that that's where change occurs, right? But most of us don't do it, and let's be honest. We just have very active lives, we have active families, or we have really physically taxing jobs. Either way, the ability to stop and do what's necessary for the human body to repair itself, it's very, very important. Now, uh, like I said, it's exercise recovery is crucial for muscle repair, strength gains if that's one of your goals, and also preventing injury. So, I think that's pretty important for all of us. We don't want to get hurt doing anything. It allows the body to rebuild, repair itself, and adapt to any stresses that we have physically and somewhat emotionally and psychological stresses. So when you recover appropriately, you improve your overall performance in all aspects of life, fitness, family, and everything else. We always used to tell our kids a good night's rest, you know, you'll feel better in the morning. And that's pretty spot on accurate. Now, like I said, muscle growth and repair is a huge benefit of exercise recovery. We get those microscopic tears in the muscle fibers, along with proper nutrition. It allows the body to heal itself, repair them, and they grow bigger and stronger, and that's how we grow muscle. And in that same time, we get strength. Fun. All right, we all know this already. This is not new stuff. And if it's new to you, then hey, you just learned something new. Fantastic. We reduce the risk of injury because we prevent overtraining and overuse, of body parts. And they just get to replenish themselves, their energy stores, and their nutrients from, like I said, proper nutrition. Like I just said, you replenish your energy stores, your glycogen stores, so you feel better and be prepared for anything that should happen. Improve performance, and it kind of, like, if you want to go for the whole holistic and wellness route, it kind of brings back balance to the body. You're not either running on adrenaline or running on fumes, is like we say when you have like really no energy left, but you keep pushing, and you're definitely not tanking energy drinks or caffeine to stay awake. So, like, increasing that balance is good. Speaking of caffeine, um, a byproduct of exercise is muscle soreness, so a good recovery helps with that. And like I said before, it just makes you feel better overall, psychologically, emotionally. You get to, repair yourself in more ways than one. Now, what types of recovery are there? We have active and we have passive recovery. Okay? Active recovery involves doing things. Light physical activity promotes oxygen-rich blood to circulate through the body and the muscles and everything. That could be anything from just a light brisk walk, very, very low impact. If you have a treadmill, some people do that. Some people do a few minutes on an elliptical just to get moving. Light housework, if it's a weekend and, it's your day off and you have some stuff to do, running errands, just anything that keeps you active, but is not strenuous like your workouts are. So that's the key there. It's not strenuous like your workouts. It's very light, but you are moving just to get the blood flow. Like I said, it also helps reduce muscle soreness because we have that oxygen-rich blood circulating through, so it helps repair and rebuild. And, you just feel better overall. You're still doing things, but you're not overexerting yourself. Now, flexibility and mobility programs, those are fantastic active recovery stuff, because you're moving, you're getting the blood flow, you're working the muscles, but you're not straining them with adding additional resistance to it. Like, if I'm just going to use my body weight to do things, I mean, it deals with my body weight all day, every day. So doing it on a day specifically just for that, it's nothing out of the ordinary. So I'm not straining my body any more than I would just on a normal everyday movement. I'm not adding a bench press or a squat or a deadlift or a row like with weights like heavy weights to really tax my body. So all that stuff helps. Now, like I said, a light cardio, more active stretching type stuff, dynamic stretching. Not a huge fan, only because a lot of muscle injuries can happen when somebody goes a little overboard with it. A simple yoga class is really good. Um, Anything that gets the blood flowing, but without overly taxing muscle use. Swimming, going for a leisurely bike ride, not an intense bike ride, a leisurely bike ride, light walk around. Go walk around town. If you have a dog, go take your dog for a walk, things like that. Passive recovery is basically allowing your body to not do anything or very, very minimal stuff. The best one of this is sleeping. This is the most overlooked recovery tool that we as humans have, and that's sleeping. Sleeping 7 to 8 hours a night is the best thing we can do for our bodies, because that's when most of the recovery and the repairing and rebuilding actually take place, is while we sleep. So, and for those who can't sleep 8 hours just because of schedules, try to get the most restful amount of sleep that you could possibly can. Um, yeah, it's sleep is super, super, super important. And there is a correlation between proper sleep and proper nutrition. So, like, if you don't sleep very well or sleep enough, you wake up groggy, you wake up tired, chances are you're not going to prepare yourself the appropriate breakfast. You're going to grab something quick, something simple like a donut, or, you know, you're going to drink 6 or 7 cups of coffee. That's a lot. You're going to drink a nice big cup of coffee to get going. So you're going to have a little excess caffeine in you, which is going to give you a false sense of energy. And you're still not going to be able to prepare the appropriate meal. So you're just going to go out and grab on the go stuff. Are there good choices on the go stuff? Sometimes, some places, not everywhere. But for the majority of the time, it's just grabbing some like a cereal bar or a protein bar, which is probably chock full of sugar. So you're not really eating the best as cereal bar with 20 grams of protein versus 3 or 4 eggs, which is just a natural and a better way of doing. You could talk about the fat in the eggs, but at the same time, I'd rather have eggs than a candy bar. So that's just me. Like I said before, stretching and mobility stuff is great for recovery. Um, you could do assisted stretching. There are plenty of businesses out there that you could schedule an appointment and go get an assisted stretching session done. They're very, very big now. They become very, very popular. The irony to all that stuff is I've been doing that since the early 2000s. And then we were deemed, as trainers, we should not be hands-on with clients. We're not therapists. We're not massage therapists. So we technically shouldn't be hands-on. But that has seemed to have changed over the last decade or so. So, some of us who have been doing it for years. I remember my very first training job back in the 90s. Oh my God, back in the 90s. Yeah, late 90s, almost 2000s. Before and after every training session, we stretched our clients. We didn't know the science behind stretching beforehand is not really that good, but yeah, we would do a very light stretch before and after every training session. So we were hands-on and got great results from our people. The clients loved it. Some of them just came in for that stretch and didn't care about the workout. So the assisted stretching businesses are around. Take advantage of that at your gym. Any of your trainers do it. Definitely take advantage of that. It does help. It helps quite a lot, especially for people who don't stretch on their own. Now, mobility programs are different than just stretching programs. Yoga is a great class which combines movement as well as some static stretching. So never a bad idea to anything that gets you moving, gets the joints fluid, and just helps with your ability to handle movement in your joints. Because overall, when those are healthy, those can move, your exercises are easier, and you could lift more weight, and you could do it more safely, and you decrease your risk of injury. So all of these things added together equal our recovery. We should be doing every week, if not every day. Now, I'm not saying do a yoga class every day. That's a bit much. Don't do mobility work every day. That's a bit much. Foam rolling is another one. Not a huge fan, but self-myofascial release does help a little bit, because it gets that little, stress out. If you can go swimming every day, that'd be great if you have a pool. You ride a bike every day, very nice, light, something. You're not doing cardio based. You're just doing it to get the blood flow. And again, the most important thing that we can do is sleep. That we could do every night. And that is going to be where the majority of your success comes from, is improving your sleep. All right. If you have any questions or comments about anything that I have said today, please leave a comment down below, or you can shoot me an email off my website, www.llioi.com. We also do some biomechanical analysis for you, and we're doing a free posture screen. So go to the website, click on the assessment, and you'll see free posture screen, and I'll tell you how to do that. Alrighty, and then if you're interested, you could extend it to a paid full body movement and biomechanics screen. Alrighty, we're also working on a virtual PMA program for everyone, which will be mobility, flexibility, and muscle resistance and repair. So, fun times ahead. We're making it work, and we're trying to make it as best for everybody. So, thanks again for watching. If you haven't done so, please like and subscribe to the video so I can keep doing these for you. Alrighty, you have yourself a great day. Take care.